Hi everyone, this is Kim Jacobs, the Balance Doctor, and you all know that if you were at our church service, we were talking on Sunday about how to get some of your goals and your dreams accomplished and how to stay on the wall, not come down until you get those projects done. Some of the things that are important to you, bringing them to closure. How many of you remember when you had the Whopper back in the day with Burger King and they were like, oh, have it your way and all of that stuff? Well, really, believe it or not, when you're dealing with projects, it's just like dealing with a Whopper. A Whopper is huge and you're looking at it like, now how in the world am I going to be able to officially eat this Whopper in a timely manner? Well, guess how you eat it? One little bite at a time. And that's what I want to share with you today, that you can also accomplish your projects in a bite-sized fashion. Don't try to do so much that you don't get the opportunity to accomplish anything at all. And that's what happens with people. People say, okay, I have a project and I actually decide that I'm going to do it all in one day. What I actually recommend is that you take the time to, first of all, pull out just a blank sheet of paper and identify what are some of the most pressing projects that you have going on in your life right now. Those pressing projects, I want you to categorize them and say, this is the priority. This is the number one project that I have going on, and I must bring this to closure. It is like a life or death situation, and I can't afford for that project to go without it being accomplished. I'll give you an example. I'm working right now on a big project that I was working on for my daughter with cystic fibrosis and dealing with her lungs. And I really wanted to make sure that with her that I actually had this project brought to closure. So what I did was I put it as a number one priority because it was really important that I get this done. It's a matter of and Jayla's in the background of the video. Say hello, Jayla. and take your bowl off the counter, please, by the way. I don't mean to sidetrack or anything, but I have to make sure that I teach my children exactly what I expect from them, right? Which is cleanliness. Make sure you take the ball and put it in the sink. Okay. So, in dealing with JLo with this particular project, it was important that I get this healthcare organization involved because it pertains to her lungs, and her lungs are extremely important. So what I did was I contacted them and applied for some type of program to see if I would be able to make that happen. And guess what? Time I called, I got put on hold, and then I had to get in a callback line where you put your phone number and then they call you back later. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Now I have to wait all day long before they would even call me back. And that's what actually happened. They called back, and first time they called back, I ended up getting disconnected from them. I said, no, you've got to be kidding me. So I had to start the process all over again. Needless to say, by being persistent, staying committed, because me knowing that it is a top priority to get that particular project done, it actually changes my mindset and gives me a certain level of patience in dealing with the project. You know why? Because I know it's important and it must be done. So it's a whatever it takes situation regarding prioritizing a project that must be accomplished. With that being said, I'm here to say that I did get approved for the project that I was applying for, and all of the things that I was really worried about pertaining to that are going to be taken care of. So that's a lot of love. Do like silent. That's me taking a bite-sized bite of my Whopper, and that piece of the Whopper is now missing, but it's also accomplished. That project is accomplished. Another thing I'll let you know is people get stressed about, okay, you're here at the bottom and you're trying to get it all the way up to the top. Take baby steps. But make sure that when you take the baby steps that you know ultimately what your target goal is. If you don't know what you're ultimately trying to accomplish with the project, guess what? The project is never going to be brought to closure. You must have a specific set deadline on where you're going to go to get that project accomplished and what the target date is. If you were in church on Sunday, I talked about 52 days, and I specifically was talking about Nehemiah and how Nehemiah was like, I don't care what they're calling me, but listen, I don't care what you're trying to do. I don't care what kind of conversation you're trying to have. I am not coming down off this wall until I get my goal accomplished. And I was just so proud of Nehemiah because he was determined not to let someone throw him off course on what he knew he had to accomplish. So once you have that target date in mind, make sure that you start working diligently every day towards accomplishing that goal. That is very important, and it can be done. So it's just a matter of saying, this is my target date, and then working backwards from there to say, if I'm going to have, let's say, Wednesday, June 21st, and I actually challenge each of you as your balance doctor to have a target date. So since some people aren't sure what a good target date may be, let's come up with one. Wednesday, June 21st is exactly 52 days from Sunday, which is when I shared that message with the congregation. And now I'm sharing it with you. So now we have 50 more days. I want to know, what are you going to get done in the next 50 days? Something that you've had just sitting on the shelf, you have had it sitting there collecting dust, and for whatever the reason, you have done nothing with it. You're halfway through the process, but you just stopped midstream. Someone called you down for some conversation, and you came down off the wall. Get back on the wall and make a determination that you are officially going to finish that project. And whatever that project is, you can share it with me if you want. If you want me to be one of your accountability partners or anybody that's on here, let's hold each other accountable. In 52 days, what's something that you want to accomplish as a goal, as something that you've already started on that you know you need to bring to closure? Type it on the screen. Let me know what it is. Let me know what are some of the things that you officially want to see happen in the next 52 days, which in this case, it would be in 50 days because 52 days was on Sunday. But 50 days from now, which would be Wednesday, June 21st, I would love to see some of your goals and some of your dreams become a reality. And they can be. So let's talk about what some of those things will be that you would like to see accomplished. Let me also let you know that you need to have certain tools and things in place and ready to go when you're dealing with accomplishing a project. You know why? If you don't know what tools you're going to need when you go to start working on your project, guess what? You're missing something. Something that was very important, that was necessary for you to be able to accomplish your goal. And as your balance doctor, when you're trying to officially balance all different aspects of your life, and you have so many things already on your plate, and now you're trying to finally carve out a few minutes to just do a project. And now you go to start on the project, even if it's something as simple as cleaning out a closet. Well, if you're going to clean out a closet, guess what you need? You need some hangers. You need some trash bags. You need some index cards, because on the index cards, you may be doing some type of giveaway with some of those items. So then you're going to need a Sharpie. You'll need some tape. All of these are tools that you'll need to be able to accomplish bringing your project to closure. When I go into a person's home to do a balance makeover, I assess the situation and I say, okay, this is what we're working with. And now what would you like to see happen differently for your life? And then we come up with a plan of action so that I can help them get to their ultimate goal. There's no need for me to come in and just tell them everything to do if they're not going to play a key part in their own lives, because at the end of the day, they're just being told this is what they're going to do, and it's not going to last when someone tells you something to do and you're not having ultimate buy-in on it for your own life. Playing a key role in your own life is necessary. It's very important for you to determine what it is that you want to have happen in your life and start taking the necessary steps towards making that happen. When I spoke on Sunday, I talked about multiple things because I talked at multiple services, but I talked about the fact that with Nehemiah, the issue that he was finally dealing with was an issue that was 130 years old. It's not something that just came about all of a sudden. The city in Jerusalem had already been burned to the ground. The walls had been torn down. The gates were burned. It was something that had happened for many years, and a lot of people had already walked through that city, stepped over the rubble and rubbish, and just decided that they weren't going to do a thing about it. Guess what? It wasn't for them to do anything about. Who it was specifically designed for was for Nehemiah. And he was the one that had that urge on the inside of his soul. He said, I cannot let my hometown lay in ruins whenever I'm from Jerusalem, and I'm going to go down like that. That's how I feel about my crew from 757. That's right. I'm sending a shout out to 757 from Newport News, Virginia, from the bottom. Who says something great can't come from the bottom? Things that are wonderful have come from the bottom in Newport News, Virginia. So if any of my friends that are watching this video, I want you to go ahead and spread the word that 757 is representing in the house, and that I love where I'm from. I love the fact that God blessed me to be able to come from an environment that was really a bad environment. It's not no joke. Any of my 757 crew know that we were in a really bad pickle in Newport News, Virginia. But God said that we could still do great things and accomplish wonderful works no matter what horrible situation we were dealing with, that ordinary people can still do extraordinary things. So I hope today that I'm encouraging you to know that no matter how ordinary you may be, as I have been a very ordinary person growing up, that God can use you to still accomplish extraordinary things. So as you deal with your projects that we've talked about today, remember, do it in a bite-sized piece. Make sure it's bite-sized. Make sure you make a decision. You're not going to do anything in life until you finally make up in your mind that I am deciding to do something about this mess. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired of dealing with this. And I am making a decision today that not 50 more days will not come and go without this project being brought to closure. Please feel free to chime in on this video and tell me any of the projects that you're working on that you want me to help you with. I'll be happy to be your balance doctor and just help bring balance to the world, one household, one person at a time. We can do this thing. We can accomplish great things together. Again, number one, make a decision that you're going to officially get that project brought to closure. Do it in, what did I say? Bite-sized pieces. You're not going to shove the entire Whopper in your mouth all at one time, or you're going to choke. And that's what happens in life. People choke. The project becomes too overwhelming. It's like, oh my goodness, this is more than I thought I could handle. They throw the whole thing in a bag and walk away. We don't want that to happen to you. We want you to take bite-sized pieces and baby steps to accomplish your goal. But at the end of the day, have a set target date that you're going to bring that baby to closure. You're not going to just leave it open-ended. Your deadline date is Wednesday, June 21st. That's the deadline date for you. If you're watching this video, I'm giving you a deadline date, June 21st, so that you can have better balance, better synergy, better harmony, a better summer, because you won't have all of these open-ended projects. You're going to have more fun in the summertime because now some of your spring projects have been brought to closure. Okay? I hope that I've helped you today. Please share this video with your friends. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is The Balance Doctor. You can learn a lot more about me, Kim Jacobs, The Balance Doctor. You can be able to follow me on my Facebook page at The Balance Doctor, on Twitter, as well as Instagram, and any other forms of communication that are out there. If you ever want to book me for an event, you can email book@thebalancedoctor.tv. And please, please, if you have not purchased my book, Extreme Balance Makeover, you can do that on Amazon, or you can also get it on extremebalancemakeover.com. Take care of yourself. I love loving God's people. It's my pleasure to be able to serve you. And I hope that you've had something that you're walking away with today that was beneficial to your life. Have a fantastic day, and I will talk with you soon. Bye.